What if you took solo leveling with the fun RPG systems, overpowered abilities, hunter-like characters, added some fun new items, a touch of regressions, and some Norse mythology? Well, you'd get Mythic Item Obtained, a new series out on WEBTOON right now. The series follows the world that at first might seem a little familiar. We follow Jae-young, a raider, someone who travels into dungeons that randomly appear throughout the world and clears them with the powers awakened in him and many other raiders like him. Now, the similarities to other series are apparent, but there's a lot that this series has that is very cool. Raiders are divided into two groups, brawlers and mages. The groups are pretty self-explanatory. Jae-young starts the series as a brawler, as he wanted to grow up to be one. Not to mention the negative stigma of being a mage kind of forced him into being a brawler, even though he had an incredibly high magic aptitude. However, things change. As Jae-young becomes a fully fledged raider, the stigma of the mages have changed, as brawlers became second-class raiders, only really used to defend mages. Jae-young was only really hired to be a meat shield. That is, until one day when he was hired to be a meat shield, he finds a rare item above the highest rank of S-class, a mythic item, the Eye of Odin. Which brings us to the other reason why this series stands out, and that's the use of Norse mythology. Finding a rare, unique, mythic item, Jae-young plans to take it and sell it for millions and live an easy life. However, things change when his father, who absolutely hates his guts, hires a dungeon hitman to take out the party Jae-young is a part of and to finally kill Jae-young himself. But while he's on death's door, he decides to use the Odin's Eye as a last-ditch effort, gaining unbelievable power and a special blank card that lets him copy other people's powers with none of the drawbacks. After copying the power from the person who almost killed him and a really cool magic fight scene later, Jae-young manages to squeak out a victory, but his wounds prove too much and he dies. However, having the eye of a god really manages to help out, as he's transported back in time 10 years. Now with an overpowered item, the future of raiders known to him, and the ability to copy other people's powers with none of the drawbacks, Jae-young decides to live a new life. Instead of being a brawler, lives the life of a raider as a mage. Now, the series has all the stuff that a solo leveling fan would want. Dungeons, raiders / hunters, cool monsters, interesting powers, a video game RPG system, cool items, mysteries surrounding the regression, and most importantly, an interesting main character. Like I said before, Jae-young was a brawler, and because of that, is unsure on how to use any magic at all. This may seem like nothing, but it's actually a really cool detail. He's been training years to be a brawler. He knows how to fight, how to move, how to act as a brawler, but not as a mage. And while he can use magic and can copy them with none of the drawbacks, it doesn't mean he knows the correct way to use it. It's a cool aspect of the overpowered protagonist. The idea that our main character might be powerful, but doesn't know how to be powerful yet, which results in him using a magic staff as a sword and breaking it after smacking some skeletons around. We're seeing the training period, as Jae-young learns his limits and his skills, testing who he is and what he can do, his weaknesses and his strengths. And with a war with those same Norse gods from Norse mythology on the horizon, Mythic Item is shaping up to be a fun action series with great theming, action, world building, and interesting copying power, and the use of Norse mythology, which makes this series worth checking out if you want to fill that solo leveling type itch. So make sure to check out Mythic Item Obtained, updating every week on WEBTOON.